as soon as I cast Mickey, I started to look at him as what type of actor he was, and I wanted to create an environment, a sandbox, so that he could play as freely as he possibly could. Um, so I kind of studied what made him tick and how he liked to work, and then I developed a visual style out of it. It's an interesting film because it has the athletics of a sports film, but it's also really a character study and a drama story, and it's been so both my dad and my mom are able to enjoy the film for the first one of my movies for the first time. Everyone, when you talk about wrestling, they say wrestling's fake, but and it's fake in the sense that there's a plot and the performers know what's going to happen at the end of the match. But is it fake when you're a 260-pound man jumping off of the top rope and landing 10 feet down on concrete? No matter what you do to try to not injure your opponent, you're putting yourself, your opponent, at risk. So physically, these guys, do incredible damage to their bodies. I mean, way beyond what professional football players or professional baseball players do to their bodies. You don't have to be a fan of wrestling to enjoy the film. It's really about any athlete or any person who uses their body as their way of making money, from being a dancer to being an athlete. At a certain point, you wake up and, you can't do what you used to be able to do. And what do you do if that's how you make money? So every baseball player, soccer player, football player has that moment in their lives, and that's what the film's about. Partly we had to do it because we had no money and it was a very low budget film, but what we did is we would throw actual wrestling promotions where we had actual fans come in and pay for the events. We didn't make the money, the promotions made the money, but we would have real wrestling matches going on, and then in between matches we'd go out there with the camera with Mickey and do some of the match, and the crowds were great. They played completely along. They I think they understand the drama of wrestling, and they were able to just pick up the script and play along with us. When he was at the deli counter, serving people, we at a certain point we just we didn't have the money to close the supermarket or the deli counter, so people were coming over to the deli counter to make orders, and we just sort of said, hey, you mind if we shoot? And I don't think they quite recognized Mickey. At one point, the manager came over to me of the supermarket and was like, hey, can you ask Mickey to write Neater? And I was like, what are you talking about? And I guess some of the people that he was serving went and took the stuff to buy it. And, he didn't know what the prices were. He was just scribbling nonsense. As many people know, Mickey was a boxer at one point, and I think that training in the ring as a boxer was actually hurtful for him to become a wrestler, because in boxing, the whole game is to hide your emotions. And it's also to hide your moves. You want to do a punch so quick no one sees it coming. When you do a punch in wrestling, you want people in the bleachers to see it happening 3 minutes before it comes. So for Mickey to ham it up like that when he was taught to move as a boxer was a real challenge. And it's easy to think that it was easy for Mickey to do this because of his experience in the ring, but I think it was twice as hard because he had to unlearn everything he had to do. I'm still learning from Mickey. When I watch the movie, and I've seen the movie, when you're the director on a film, you watch it over and over and over again. I'll still see stuff that Mickey does that is so subtle and so alive and real. And this is after a few hundred viewings. And I think that's what people are responding to, is he's just completely natural and completely real. With all of his twitches, with all of his mannerisms, he's just there. And I think that's why we go to the movies, is to see honest performances, and it's an extremely, extremely honest performance.